Welcome in to the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller, thanks so much for joining us. We have a lot going on the next couple of days, and I have this big special announcement. Folks, we're going to change everything on the website, and I tell you all about it on Sunday. There's an audio version that is separate from the video, so if you'd like to come back here and get about a 10-minute version, that's going to be launched at 3 a.m. Eastern as normal. And then there's a separate video version that combines the weekly overview. So we take a look at the chart next week, which the big thing next week is one aspect. In the middle of the week, on Hump Day, Mars enters Libra. So we can tuck that in our mind as we're thinking through it being in the last degrees right now for this weekend of Virgo. It will be at 29 degrees by the time you get up on Tuesday. And then this morning, it's about 26.5 degrees. So there's your gap fill over the weekend, and I know we've all been feeling it. Has there not been some cray-cray in your life here in the last few days? Goodness sakes, yesterday, a family that is very precious and close to me was just going through some struggles, and it was just this same kind of weirdness that we've been talking about, and I've been hearing it from so many of y'all. So I know we're all experiencing it, and part of what this setup entails is happening today. Because you remember, even on the Great Pyramid video that we did on Wednesday, Venus moved into Cancer. Well, today it squares first Saturn, then Neptune. Saturn at 9:35 this morning and Neptune at 10 till 5, both Eastern. So Neptune is about 7 hours later. So we're sitting in between these squares. In fact, the whole day, you could just about say, is a midpoint between these squares. So Venus is right in between Saturn and Neptune. And I've been saying that I think what we have to do with this Great Pyramid is observe. And one of the things that I've observed is truth is poking its head out. That's what happened in this situation yesterday. A family member was just living in lies and deceptions, and it came out. So from the observation perspective, I've seen that enough that it's like, okay, yeah, we might have a pattern here. The macro, the mundane, the country will move slower than the individual families in the country, obviously. But what's happening on one level could eventually ripple up to other levels. My website thing, I don't know that that was so much encased in this aspect of Venus to Saturn and Neptune, but whenever there is a trigger of these two planets, I think we have to stop and look and see how that is playing out. This somewhat gets into how Ray Merriman interprets aspects related to the market, that they're pivot points. So when we have an aspect like this, we can certainly parse it out for what Venus squaring Saturn means and Venus squaring Neptune. But I think we also look at where it pivots things, at least until we have more patternable history of the Great Pyramid to fall back on. But the thing I keep saying and hammering out is that we have to keep in mind that all of these aspects connecting the Great Pyramid, and by far the majority of the aspects in the sky today, are positive. So when a family member is stealing and you have to go into the action mode of shoring up the accounts, deciding what you're going to do with this person, etc., in the end, you realize that it's going to be better for everybody. When your website blows up and you're sent into 4 days of the catacombs of technology, consolidating 3 websites into one as fast as you can, but you realize that the outcome is going to be better for everybody. For me, for you, for all of us. We all win. That's the Great Pyramid. Now, Venus is in Cancer, which puts it in the 4th house of zodiacal order, and Cancer, of course, is ruled by the moon, and that is what rules home and family. So yesterday, here was this challenge with a family right there in their home. The truth, Neptune came out, and one of the family members is going to have some Saturnian discipline with his career and possibly with the rest of his life. And eventually, I feel in this case, it is going to work out well because within this family, there is a lot of love in home and family. And even in the phone calls yesterday, there was a lot of love expressed. It's going to have to be tough love. But you see, even right here, an example of the square between Venus and Saturn and Neptune. While it was applying yesterday, it's exact today. It was super strong yesterday. And the truth came out. That's where I'm really impressed with how Neptune is reacting right now. And then yesterday, I had a wonderful email. I mentioned the Ray Merriman a minute ago. I had a wonderful email from his team, and they want to do their evolutionary astrology book, which has been out for a number of years, to audiobook. I could not think of a more wonderful assignment or request if I was interested in doing that, and I responded yes in all caps. Well, in a way, that's another Venus activation. It's a business project, so obviously, and our partnership, which is, I don't know if we could say a seventh house partnership, because we do actually have a seventh house partnership in the audiobooks that we do for the forecast books. This obviously activates that, Venus, money, Venus, love, because I love working with Ray and his team. I love the material they put out, and I love narrating audiobooks. So that's under the square. So there you go. There's always two sides to the astrological coin, isn't there? All right, we've got a busy weekend. Be sure to tune in on Sunday if you want to see the website. I do a video demonstration of it. If you want to just hear it and get done with it, this is for all of the people who have bought something from funastrology.com. So I hope you'll tune in. Big changes coming, and we will get through it. And just like today, it's going to be better in the end. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for stopping by on your Friday. I value your time, and I wish you the very best. Sending lots of love. That's Venus.